What's good, YouTube? Andre here with the DM Network, or Mr. Dmgaming, whatever you want to say. Y'all, today I want to talk about verse mode. This video may run a little bit long, so please stick through to the end because there's a lot of information that I'm going to give in this video. Before we get into all of that, follow me on the social media platforms. PSN ID Dmgaming5, Twitter at Dmgaming5, Twitch at Dmgaming06, and Instagram at _DM_network. Also, click that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Become a part of the over 9,000 hype squad. Y'all, this is a real deal. You don't want to miss anything that I'm going to upload. Sometimes I upload videos 2 and 3 times a day. It just depends. There is so much to talk about and so much to analyze. But no further ado, I'm getting into the video. So I'm just have some slides going here because, yeah, whatever. Anyway, will there be a versus mode? I'll tell you what I think first. I don't think there will be a verse mode in this game. And I'm going to give you the information that I have that supports that theory or that thought. Because at the end of the day, I could be wrong. They could end up putting a verse mode in the game. So first and foremost, the support for a verse mode came from the live stream that was botched the other day when Dimitri was thrown on the set out of nowhere, unprepared, and he was asked about a verse mode. And he said, people were saying, oh, when he was asked about verse mode, he gave a smirk. Okay, he gave a smirk. But they didn't listen to what he said. And then some people mix it up and say that he said that they say that, they haven't revealed, they're not going to reveal that at this time. I wrote down exactly word for word what he said. What he said was nothing that we have really talked about when it comes to a verse mode. They haven't talked about a versus mode. Now, that can mean one of two things. That can mean either, number one, there isn't going to be one, or number two, they just haven't revealed it to them. Okay. But to me, that is the only thing that people are using to support a versus mode. There is no other evidence out there to support a verse mode for this game. Well, the only other thing that supports a versus mode for this game is that Cyberconnect2 did do it with the Naruto series, and also basically every Dragon Ball in history, every Dragon Ball game has had a versus mode. You see, except for probably Battle Z. I don't think Battle Z did in Sagas, but y'all get what I'm saying. The majority of Dragon Ball games have had a versus mode. However, one thing that we have to realize is that this game is not Naruto. Yes, it's made by Cyberconnect2. There are some elements that they keep, like quick time events and things like that. But one thing you have to remember, the difference between this game and the Naruto game is that this is an action RPG. Naruto games weren't action RPGs. You see what I'm saying? They would have even made this an open world game, but it just wouldn't align with the story, which we covered that. We covered that before they talked about it. That if it was open world, you could just go straight to Namek. How would they do that? So they did it the best way. They did it in a perfect way. You've got tons of locations that when put together resembles an open world, but you can't just go from location to location seamless. You have to actually go to the world map and go to those particular locations, if from my understanding. I don't know if it becomes seamless once you unlock the different areas. If it does, that's great. But anyway, I don't want to get off topic here. Those are the only things supporting a versus mode, and they're not very strong. However, the things that are strong are the things that actually support that there won't be a versus mode in this game. And the reason I'm telling y'all this is because I don't want to get our hopes up on something. And I kind of want to paint the picture, the true picture of this game, because I think a lot of people are missing the point of this game. The point of this game is they want you to live in the anime world. Y'all seen a little clip from Akira Toriyama that popped up. He wants people to live in the Dragon Ball universe. They've said it on the live streams. They want this to be an immersive experience. Look at that. This game brings the Dragon Ball universe to life. Fans will be able to take a deep dive into the world. He wants you to live. That's why you're able to fish. That's why you're able to hunt. That's why you're able to gather stuff. That's why you're able to explore. That's why. They want you to live as Goku. And y'all, I'm going to tell y'all straight up. If you want to know how to play this game, if you want to know how to get the most out of this game, live as Goku. Play this game like you're watching the anime. In the anime, they didn't go from boss to boss every episode, did they? No. What did they do? They explored, they trained, they ate, they slept, they lived. Live as Goku, and this game will be wonderful. When you watch me play this game, that's how you're going to see me play it. I don't want to hear DM go fight Raditz. It might be 2 or 3 days before I ever even get the Raditz. That's how much exploration, training, and side quests that I'm going to be doing. Because I'm not trying to rush the game. There's only so many bosses. I want to live it. Okay. So several things. That's number one that they want you to do. But if you go back, and this is supporting that they won't do a versus mode in this game. If you go back to the video that SSJ3 Assassin uploaded about the demo overview, if you listen to the woman talk, if you listen to the whole thing, listen to what she's telling you about the game. She literally said, and I covered this in the video yesterday, there is no PvP. She said there is no PvP. They went with the PvE experience because in a PvP world, you have balancing issues because all the characters have to come in at the same level. So you have Super Saiyan Goku fighting against Yamcha, and Yamcha can beat Super Saiyan Goku because if not, then everybody would just play with the most OP characters. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way in PvE. That's why they went PvE. They said because they want the bosses to reflect what was reflected in the anime. Goku was outmatched a lot of times, but you can't reflect that in a PvP environment. Okay. Also, they said this, they was asked yesterday. So they didn't do the live stream yesterday, but it was brought up about the live stream. This guy found a video about it. They was on Facebook Gaming and they was asked the question about online play. And I'm going to play what was said here. So listen.
I'm going to give you my thoughts. So at that boy Bulldog wanted to know if there are going to be any plans for online co-op. Obviously this is Goku's story, but there are multiple people involved in the battles. Will there be a chance for other people to hop into each other's games and help in these big battles?
オンラインのコープとかっていうゲームプレイは、このゲームでは期待できるんでしょうかという質問ですね、ツイッターから。
策については、オンライン輸送っていうのは一切取り入れていないです。というのも本当にもう一人でですね、じっくり、ドラゴンボール Z の物語を追体験、することに、注力した作品となっておりますので、そういった形で遊んでいただければなと思っています。
So as far as online is concerned, at this moment there are no plans to take this game online, and really it's kind of the immersive experience of witnessing the story unfold through Goku's perspective. So that's what we have planned at the moment.
See, and that is on Dmgaming's YouTube channel. So you can go to his channel and watch that full-length video. It's about 3 minutes long. But they said, they were asked about online co-op. Somebody being able to come into your game, possibly play as Piccolo. And I told y'all that, I said that wouldn't work because you're going to have people who want to play as Goku, who don't want to play as Krillin or Piccolo or Gohan or this or that. But yet and still people are asking. And this was in reference to online co-op. This is the story. This isn't referring to versus mode. But what he said, he didn't say there are no plans to add co-op. He said there are no plans to take the game online. He said there is no plans to take the game online at this point. He did say at this point. So they could potentially try to work it. But at this point, no, I don't think they're going to. But what was his reason why? Is because they wanted to create the most immersive experience. Y'all listen to me. This game is not like other Dragon Ball games. If you want a versus mode, go play Xenoverse. Go play Fighters. Go play Rage and Blast. Go play Budokai. Go play every other Dragon Ball game that's been out. I don't think there's going to be a versus mode in this game. So the lady already told you there's not going to be a PvP. A PvP is player versus player. She said there's no going to be a PvP in this game. They asked about co-op, which is still PvE, but players are on your team. They said no, they're not taking this game online. Okay? So you've heard both times, essentially, in order to have a versus mode, you're going to have online. In order to have a versus mode, you're going to have PvP because that's what versus mode is, player versus player. They're not going to do it. Why? Because they want you to be immersed in this game. This is an action RPG. Is there a versus mode in The Witcher 3? No. Is there a versus mode in Horizon Zero Dawn? No. Those are RPGs. Is there a versus mode in Legend of Zelda? In Kingdom Hearts? No. Guys, why is that? Because in RPGs, you're playing a role. RPGs are made to be immersive experiences. And I'm putting that out there so people don't get the wrong idea about this game and then get it expecting something, and that's not what it is. I would have preferred to them to just come out and say, no, there's not going to be a versus mode. Dimitri couldn't answer the question because, well, he did. He said they haven't talked about it. But like I said, that doesn't mean that they're not planning it. But then when you hear from the actual publishers or developers that they're not taking the game online, and then I know you say, well, what about the community tab and the pause menu, DM? Battle of Z had something similar. There was an online element. You see what I'm saying? Maybe comparing scores because there are ratings in the game. But we know for a fact that somebody else computer is not going to, another player is not going to be able to play in your game. So what do you think that community tab is for? The community tab is more than likely to maybe a leaderboard of some sorts. But by online, they mean you playing online with somebody else. Be it them fighting you or y'all on the same team fighting computer. And that's another reason why she brought up PvP. She said no, because, you know, Goku was always outmatched. And they want to recreate that in this game. They want this to be like the anime. And that goes back to what I told y'all. They want you to live the anime. That's what this game is made to do. That's what RPGs are made to do, to immerse you into a living world. Okay. Another reason why is the combat system. Now, it's only one button to fight, and that's the B button for Xbox. I imagine it's the square for PlayStation. I'm not sure. But you have your fight button and you have your key button. Now, are you just push the fight and does Goku just do combos? I don't think that's the case. I think you do get to like tap the fight button. I don't think it's going to be that simplistic. But Dimitri did say that the producer told him that the combat is going to be simplified at first. Keyword, at first. So I believe it does get more complex as the game goes on, but they want it to be simplified at first so that you can learn the system. But he also said because the combat is set up to where you're fighting multiple enemies. So you don't have, which at the same time, Xenoverse 2, you're fighting multiple enemies. You see what I'm saying? And you can have it's not an in-depth combat system, but it's more in-depth than what we have right here. Because you even have a heavy attack button. In this game, right now at the beginning, you don't. Not to say that you won't later on. Maybe you can unlock different combo systems. We don't know that. That could very well be a possibility. But he said that they would simplify the combat at first, which means it gets more complex later on, hopefully. Hopefully. But anyway, so the combat system alone, in my opinion, kind of rules out a versus mode too, because, you know, people who want a versus mode, they want a combat system that's challenging or that is skill based, and this is not a game for that. People complain about the combat mode in Xenoverse. Hey, it's not a fighting game. You want a fighter game? We got one. It's called Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Fighters. Come on, man. Y'all have to look at the type of game that this is. This is not like those. And that just summarizes everything. They want you to have an immersive experience. They want you to live as Goku. Experience the world through Goku's eyes. You get to go fishing, you get to hunt, you get to train, you get to meet people, talk to people, roam all of these vast worlds. These vast worlds. They told you that the locations, you see how huge that one location was. Now you see how many locations were spread out across the map. So can you imagine the entire thing put together, how massive the game is? And that's just Earth. They ain't even said Namek, and if it goes to the Buu Saga, King Kai's planet and all that different stuff, this game is huge. And this is my final point. And why I don't want a versus mode. And this is the biggest reason why. Because if you put a versus mode into a game, you're going to have to dedicate resources, time to keeping up, maintaining, fixing bugs and patches and balancing for a multiplayer mode. You're going to have to do that. And it's going to take away from the experience. It's going to take away from the main game. I am so stoked that this game is single player. You look at God of War, single player game, awesome. Horizon Zero Dawn, single player game, awesome. Legend of Zelda, single player game, awesome. Did I say Horizon Zero Dawn, Spider-Man, God of War? All of those games are single player games, and they are awesome. We need more single player games. So to finally have a Dragon Ball game that's single player, can you imagine? This is the reason they're able to put the content that they're putting in this game, is because it's a single player game. They don't have to focus on multiplayer. They don't have to devote online servers. They can devote everything to the core game, y'all. And this is another reason why I'm telling you it's gonna go past the Frieza saga. This is gonna be one of the most massive, extensive Dragon Ball games ever. They already told you that there is more stuff to do in this game than they have ever seen in a Dragon Ball game. And that was just in one freaking section. Can you imagine the entire world? And then Namek and all the other locations? Guys, I don't think y'all understand the magnitude of this game. And you don't want a multiplayer element to take away from it. But here's the thing. There are people who say, I don't want to play as Goku. There are people who say, I got to have creative character. And there are people who say, if it ain't got versus mode, I ain't buying it. For guess what? All three of those groups, I guarantee you, when the demo drops, you're going to play it. And when you play it, you're going to be like, dang, I was wrong. This game is epic. It's one thing to watch the game. It's a completely different thing to have the controller in your hands controlling the player. If I am already immersed just from watching the gameplay trailer, I know for a fact in my years of experience in gaming that when I get the controller in my hand, I am going to be elevated in immersion to a whole nother level, y'all. Mark my words. This video will be on YouTube. It is not getting deleted. So when this game comes out, we'll come back to this video. And I'm going to say, guess what? I told y'all. For those y'all said y'all didn't want it, y'all going to love the demo. And you are going to get this game. If you are a Dragon Ball fan in any scope of the imagination, you are going to get this game. And for people saying that they don't like the way this game looks or this or that, man, I'm telling you, your mind will change when you play it. Mark my words on that, y'all. That's all I got for right now. I'm not going to go on any longer. Till next time, peace.